Hey guys, welcome to Sketch a Day. I'm Spencer and I'm an industrial designer. I love drawing, and the following is a segment from my live show. I go live 3 or more times a week now. If this is your first time, I want you to hit subscribe. That's the little red button. Turn on alerts and come say hi on the socials. I'm at sketchaday.com on Instagram, and you can also find me on Twitter at Daily Sketches. And I'm pretty easy to find on Facebook. Just search for Sketch a Day. And I appreciate your contributions, donations, and all that good stuff. If you want information about that, it's all below in the video description. Or better yet, you can check out my store at sketchaday.com. And there I have Procreate brushes, stickers, and all sorts of goodies for you. So you can also check that out. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. How to be better observers, contemplators, and imaginers of elements and principles from reality, of reality, from subjects, objects, events, topics, and environment. That's a good question. I feel like it just takes practice and a commitment to open your eyes, and you can, I think, pretty easily start to, let's do above and below horizon line on this perspective. But yeah, it just takes a little practice, and then you're able to just observe everything around you. Keep your eyes open. Look for those connections. If you're into taking in lots of drawing material, just make sure that you are always thinking about the principles. You know, where can I find this thing that Scott Robertson talked about, or someone else talked about as you. And I like to use this example, but even something as simple as using a restroom in a commercial space, a lot of times you'll discover things like a chrome pipe, and it just clicks all of a sudden, and you realize, oh, that's how the reflections are working, right? It sounds weird, but a lot of it for me has been along those lines. All right, so here, as I was talking, I'm just drawing kind of some wheels at this point, and really just trying to figure out the structure of what's happening. That wheel's a little bit off, so I'll do something like that. And this one I'll vignette in anyway, so I'm not terribly worried. I do want some sort of bumper in place, so I'll make sure I have that. And let's see, maybe somewhat of an underbelly or carriage. I mean, I did mention that we want some extra water storage, and I'm going to kick this wheel back a little bit so it kind of gives it a cool stance. Stance just means how it's planted on the ground. Okay. And on the top, we want to capture our little bump here. What I'm not showing in this view, and if a vehicle or thing is like super functional, I'm actually going to cheat because I had the opening going one way in the thumbnail, but I do want to show these solar panels, so I'm going to cheat. Notice how I'm holding the pen. I'm like halfway up the barrel as I'm holding this pen, okay? And in doing that, I'm able to, let's get our knobby tires in here, but holding the pen further back allows me to see what I'm doing, right? So it's not obscuring with my hand or fingers what's going on. Makes it a lot easier to kind of know what to do next in your drawing, and I think gives you a bit better loose feel when it comes to your sketches. So something you can try. It's a bit of giving up control, if you will. Sometimes in life, I mean, sketching design is full of life lessons, really. So welcome to therapy, sketch therapy. Sometimes you have to let go of things in life, and you get better results. All right, so something for you to think about that I've found to be true, that in this instance I think relates to your pen control and what you're doing. All right, this line's a little bit weird, so I'm going to fix that. And let's go ahead and get a nice door cutout here. And we also had some sort of piston up top. Just going to hint at the hinge. When you're sketching like a large scale thing or scene, sometimes you have to just decide, okay, where am I going to focus my details? Because it doesn't make sense for me to noodle over this tiny, tiny piston if the overall effect is I'm trying to just capture this whole vehicle. Rajan, yeah, I've been back, man, since September. I've been posting a ton. Oh, Bence is asking, can I draw an oil bottle? Okay, so I'm going to take some notes. We had sports equipment. I'll just do sports EQ, oil bottle. I may go live tomorrow as well. And I'm trying to keep the streams a little shorter. So about an hour, hour and a half. Sometimes I go 2 hours. We're 29 minutes in and we've already covered thumbnailing, right, and planning out a concept. And now we're just executing on that concept. In this case, maybe I'll show just a side door open. No, I'll just keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. All right. Maybe this is a hinge for our back door. Something like that. And you know, I want these to all be glass. I like the idea of kind of this glass side. Maybe it's molded. And we do need at least some lights on this thing. We also have our bars on the top that I believe Remy suggested. So I'm going to sketch those in. Maybe have those connect over. So we're drawing a desert kind of RV type vehicle. And for storage, I'm going to say here on the underside, maybe we have these containers that you could put water in. You know, something like that. And let's just hint at a bit of suspension under here, just using some shapes. Get ready to have a shadow on the ground. And let's go ahead and do some rims. I'm just going to do some flat rims, maybe some cutouts. Something like that. I like doing these streams in the morning because it's kind of like a warm-up for me because I have real work to do today as well. So thanks for hanging out and being here. All right, Mia. Yeah, thanks for the idea. It's fun. And so now I'm just going to hint at a little bit of the inside of the vehicle, at least through this side, maybe a little bit here as well. And on this side, I think I'm just going to have lots of reflection, okay, right through there. We'll use this sketch to do just a quick interior as well, so no worries there. And maybe the lights, you know, are kind of along the front surface here. Something like that. Jay Tadori says, my final project in university looks something like this. Cool, man. This ellipse is off, but whatever. Maybe I can fix it. Fix it in post. I think that's what Elon said when they broke the Cybertruck. We'll fix it in post. That just means like editing, but I'm being silly. I'll do what I can to correct it, or just make it feel less weird. But I'm not worried. There's always a fix. Yeah, actually that is better. This one's better. Okay, cool. This one should be a little bit bigger in the front. All right, I feel like making the wheels orange, so I'm going to start there. And I'm using my cheap Ohuhu markers, if you're wondering what exactly I'm using. All right. Just using some marker paper here. Alex is asking warm gray Copics for this one. I don't know. LEDs on upper bars to light the sides of the night was nice. Would be nice. Yeah, that's an interesting idea for sure. How to sketch on a non-screen tablet. Do you mean like an Intuos? Something like that? It's interesting you asked that question because most of the time when I learned how to sketch on an Intuos, and most of the time when I do my sketching, I'm actually sketching like my hands are moving, but I'm looking at the screen. So that's how I do it most of the time. Thank you, Remy. Yeah, I'm trying to find the right flow on YouTube, you know. The pre-recorded stuff, it takes time and effort, but I also like the interactive format. And, you know, cutting out the segments gives you a chance. If you don't want to watch the live show, at least everything's there for you and you can just go watch it. So that's the idea anyways. All right, I have no idea if this color will work, but I wanted to use it, so let's go. I was looking at a post, I think it was by the Design Essentials page, and my friend Martijn commented, I'm not sure if this was in private or in person, but commented like with sketching, sometimes you just have to try stuff and see if it works, and sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. I happen to know or have enough familiarity with markers and things like that that I can make most things work, but I will say for you guys, definitely get out there and just try stuff. See what works. And that's really how you learn. Failure is an opportunity to learn. I learn all the time when I do these streams and something doesn't work. I'm like, oh, okay. Definitely not going to do that next time. So don't be afraid. Work cheap, work fast, so you don't feel like you've wasted a ton of time on something. It's also another tip. Like when I was in school, I would sketch on tracing paper most of the time. Now that I'm a professional, I actually sketch on marker paper most of the time because I can afford to, and it makes my drawings look better. But in general, work smart, work fast, work quick, and then you won't feel like, man, I spent so much time on this, what's going on? When it doesn't work out. When or if. I'm not saying it won't, but sometimes it doesn't, right? Sketch Day Live, thanks again. This marker paper I actually had back in college. I just haven't blown through the stack because it's a weird size. It's hard to scan just because it's so big. This is just one marker to start. I'll probably use 2-3 markers here. To get the tones I want and all that. Alright, so I got some base. Now we're going to keep enhancing, going a little darker where we need to. It's funny, I'll have people comment on sketches like this on Instagram and they're like, that's a rendering. I'm like, no, it's not a rendering. It took me 20 minutes. Renderings are the ones that take like hours and are like completely perfect, right? This is just a quick sketch for me. So anyhow, to each their own. Plus I think it has to do with the kind of the tightness of everything and how you approach your sketch. That's what gives you that looseness. All right, so on the side here now, on this glass, this one's interesting because what I want to do as I'm thinking about this is not necessarily have this diagonal, but rather capture some of the landscape in the glass. So now I need to think about, okay, what's out there? We're gonna have the sky. And I'm gonna use my Copics just because I have a better range of color. I can do some light blues and get some shading in place. So bear with me here. I am Ashi on Instagram is asking me about line weight. So if you... Is Matt watching? Matt would give me a hard time about this. But if you go to Sketch a Day on YouTube, you will find videos specifically on line weight. So a lot of times if you have questions, you can go there, check it out, and you will find the answers you seek. Why do you make the shadow orange? What's the purpose? Just stylistically, I can mute the shadow and make it a little bit darker because I do need some contrast between the wheel and the shadow here. So not quite done. I will work on that. But here, like I said, trying to create a reflection of what you might see out in the distance, but also it needs to be dark enough to register and read as, you know, some sort of horizon. This warm gray is dry. Just as a bonus to show you again, some of you've seen this many times. So these are some of my Copic inks. And let's see, do I have a warm gray 7? I might not have a warm gray 7. Because they were kind of selling out when I was collecting these. So let's see, let's check the other pile. 3, 4, 1. Yeah, I might not have a 7 here. So I'll have to pick up the other warm gray marker. Or I'm just blind and I can't see it right now. Let's see if I can find another warm gray maca. All right, let's see. Here we go. David says sunset, maybe dusk. There's that. There's also the context of desert, like, you know, it's an exaggeration, but you can kind of do that sometimes. All right, so here's an example in this glass. Just trying to capture a bit of maybe some horizon. And we'll just go ahead, you know, keep it dark up top, and then we'll just blend and go from there. Remember, marker ink is translucent, so whatever you do, when you're building up, you want to start with your lights until you get it right. Lily Rosales says, "OMG, your markers! Thank you." Yeah, I've spent years collecting them. I don't dare calculate how much I've spent on my markers, but I've spent a lot for sure. Faux show. All right, so I kind of started with this bluish glass, so I'm gonna try and bring some of that back in here. Maybe just on the horizon, and let's grab like a cool or bluish gray. What was I using? This was a PB, so I'll just use a blue gray. All right, got it. Hi, do you prefer Copic or Prismacolor? It doesn't really matter to me in terms of the application so much as Copic markers are refillable. So economically speaking, they work better for me. But I always say whatever works for you is what you want to do. All right, so on the top here in the sky, let's go ahead and make this just a little bit bluer. something like that. And now let's get the body side in. So as far as colors, I don't know, do something greenish. We'll see. Might be fun. I feel like I can't find anything this morning again, so my apologies. My forever nightmare. Alright, okay, so we got warm gray 3, 4, 1, 9. I also have a 7, so I think I'll be okay here. Alright. So the body side, I want to do warm, but the top of the vehicle is also going to receive some of this blue. So we're going to do some cool gray, warm gray stuff happening here on the top. But I will start with some blue on this side. Go across the top. The bottom here is going to be reflecting whatever's on the ground, okay? So I did stylize it, make it orange, so I'll probably do some sort of warm down here on the sides. Alright, something like that. What's the best kind of paper to use with these markers? Just if you go to if you go to sketchtoday.com/stuff, I talk a little bit about my marker paper. So if you want to know my marker paper, that's a good place to go. In general, however, all you need to do is just find something that won't bleed. This one bleeds a little bit. So what I mean is there's a couple little spots here where I went a little intense on the marker. So that's some bleed that unfortunately happens sometimes if you're using cheaper paper. And this is an older paper as well, so I suspect that's part of what's causing the problem. But also, marker paper it has a coating on the back, typically. The best one I found right now is which is weird to say, because I remember being in school and it wasn't great marker paper. But the Canson XL marker paper is what I like to use. And I believe, at least on Amazon, it's about $15 a pad, something like that. Just using some gray on top of this orange to help with the shadowing and mute the color a little bit, so it'll pop a little bit better. Get these shadow cores in. Success says, I see a lot of those chamfered box-like vehicles in your video. Yeah, you know, in reality as a designer, a lot of times you kind of find yourself revolving around certain themes or things, and that's okay. I think we all eventually develop a style, or we have some sort of pet design, if you will, that we try and execute on. I know I certainly have a few. And when you're designing for yourself, naturally you pull from what you like. Naturally. Alright, let's see. So I got the glass. Let's work on the side a little bit more here. I just want some good contrast next to the blue. There we go. It feels a lot better. So you'll notice when I do these kind of core shadows, I'm not quite shading to the end. but leaving a little bit of room. And that's because there's reflected light in the environment. Again, there's videos about that on my channel, so if you're curious about the why, check out the channel. Search around. You'll find some good stuff there, I hope. Some of you have. Alright, so these bars on the top, I'll just make them dark gray. We'll just keep it simple. Man, I'm so hungry. That run was intense. I think I pulled something in my calf though the other day. I've just been running a lot. I was determined in this pandemic lockdown to not gain weight, so I've actually lost a bunch of weight, which is cool. Just been trying to eat better, get sleep, all that good stuff. All right, I gotta get this front bar in as well. Might as well use the same gray. Let's see, Tom, thanks for that. Oh, good, I'm glad you got it, man. Did that just come in today? Tom, again, Tom is one of our Patreons. So if you want to sign up for that, that is patreon.com/sketchday. I am going to do a pre-show with you guys. I need to circle back and figure out when the next one is, what works for all of you. And let me know how you like this new time, kind of consistently daily. (9, 10 a.m. Pacific, somewhere around there. All right. Okay, so I did promise I would help the shadow on the bottom so this pops a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to add a background, of course. So to kind of mute the shadow, I can either use cool or warm gray. If I use a cool gray, this is going to go more brown. You can always test, of course, on a separate piece of paper, but not too worried. So let's just start with this warm gray. Kind of mute this. Could even add texture if you want to kind of hint at a little bit of a ground texture there. Something like that. So get creative with your tools. You know, I have a way of drawing. That's why the book I'm working on is going to be a how I draw book, not a how to draw. Because, I mean, I will cover some mechanics of drawing, but really, a lot of drawing is just figuring out what works for you and how you can quickly and efficiently represent concepts using correct principles. So, again, once you know the why, the how is easy, and then you can get real flexible and just do some different things. All right, just a heads up, Instagrammers, the stream will end soon. Instagram only lets me stream for about an hour, so if you want to see the interior sketch that I'll do, and I think I'm only going to get to 2 sketches today, but if you want to see the interior, you can. I'm just using a brush pen here, guys. Head over to youtube.com/sketchaday.com. You can also check out sketchaday.live. It's another place you can check it out. At least it'll send you to my YouTube for now. I'm trying to make that the place to go. All right, and then for the background, I'll just use a little bit of warm gray here. Have that show through the glass, rather. And I'm just gonna put something of a horizon through here. I probably should have lined this up, but we'll keep that our little secret. How about that? We'll keep it our little secret. No one has to know. Except for Alex. Alex knows. So Sketch Today Live, thanks again for joining. Hanging out. If it's your first time and you're on the Insta, head over to youtube.com/sketchtoday.com to catch the rest of the show, or just enjoy your Friday. You know, maybe we'll catch you next time. If you turn on post alerts, you won't miss anything as well. If you like this stuff. I like sketching with real tools. By real, I mean markers and pens, but I think I'll go digital tomorrow. So if you have questions, I did make some notes. We had a request for some sports equipment. I don't know what kind of sports equipment though, so you'd have to give me some specifics there. Sports equipment, and we had an oil can was another request. Interesting request. But yeah, I'll probably be back tomorrow, so I'll just do a quick gray marker kind of cutaway view and show you how I would do that here. Let's get some blue on the solar panel. Because it is reflecting the sky tone, right? That's the idea anyways. All right. I just want to work on some line weight stuff a little bit. Oh, nice. Tom is doing a university project with MIT, you say? Yeah, I'm sponsored by MIT. That's pretty cool. All right, just hinting at some LED stuff here. Okay, I was like, where did that go? Well, I thought I had a bright blue paint marker, but I don't. So let's just go neon for our light. It's kind of weird, but we'll roll with it. Alright, I'm just sketching a little door handle here. Just over everything, and maybe it's the same material, maybe not, but I can just sketch that on top, add some white, and we now have a simple part there. Let's get some white on these glass edges on the top. Paint markers are super fun. If you guys haven't tried them out, highly recommend it. And if you have tried them out, awesome. So I'm gonna critique myself. I think this whole vehicle needs to be raised up a bit more because they're kind of like on the wheels. But overall, I think there's enough contrast there for me. At least I can read the form and so forth. So if I were doing this again, I would definitely raise it up off the platform, right? Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for making it this far. You guys are seriously the best. The world is kind of crazy right now, but we can all create and come together. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I want you to hit that subscribe button. That's the red button, and turn on alerts, tap the bell, and that's going to tell you when I go live and when I post. It'd be awesome if we can hang out and chat, so I want to see you there. You can also come say hi on the socials. I'm at sketchaday.com on Instagram, at Daily Sketches on the Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/sketchaday, or just search for Sketchaday. It's real easy. All right, guys. Well, thank you, and I'll see you next time right here on Sketchaday.